The River Rhine, for thousands of years and hundreds of miles the highway of Europe. Rising high in the Swiss Alps, it flows along the boundaries of Liechtenstein, Austria and France, through Germany to its delta in the Netherlands. If the idea of a floating hotel appeals, but you don't fancy one of the huge cruise ships, consider a Rhine cruise. The depth and width of the river is such that cruise ships are generally smaller and intimate, and you can take 2 to 7 day excursions, a good way to experience Europe.
Everybody is traveling today with airplanes, with cars, with trains, very fast. So you have to change your mind when you come on board a ship like this. Our speed is upstream only 12 kilometers on average.
This is an unforgettable journey. Nowhere else will you find so many little wine villages with great names, so many tiny vineyards, so many beautiful churches, and so many castles and castle ruins on rocky escarpments. Their individual stories of construction, destruction, reconstruction and demolition mirror the history of conquest, siege and surrender. To rule the Rhine was once to rule the world. Düsseldorf is an ideal starting point. Not only is the city gateway for a number of airlines and charters, it's known as the Paris of the North, offers tremendous shopping opportunities for women and men, is easy to get around and has some excellent restaurants. There's also an exceptional view of the city and the Rhine from the Rhine-Turm Tower.
People visiting Düsseldorf for a day only, you have several musts. That is the Königsallee. And you have the Altstadt, of course, which is called the longest bar in the world because on less than a square mile you have more than 260 pubs, inns, restaurants, and it is a very nice place to spend an evening.
After checking into their cabin aboard the cruise ship and organizing their personal belongings, most people head for the cocktail bar or make a beeline to book their excursions. Daily excursions range from wine tastings to tours of some of the fascinating cities that can be found along the Rhine. The cathedral in Cologne, a masterpiece of Gothic architecture, was started in 1248 and took nearly 650 years to complete.
I'm aware of Heidelberg as one of the most ancient and interesting university towns in the whole of Middle Europe, and being within range of this Rhine trip makes it all the more attractive. We can do it where we would not have gone for a holiday there on its own.
Excursions are an optional expense, and a good walking tour is one way to burn off calories. But if you're not concerned about your waistline...
We start with the coffee for the early risers at 6 o'clock in the morning, breakfast for 2.5 hours, lunch, of course coffee, tea and cake in the afternoon. We have dinner, formal dining in the evening when we have the farewell dinner, and a late buffet. So you can have up to 5 meals a day.
The ship allows families to get together during the meals, to be able to enjoy the pool, and to just take those excursions and be able to come together as a big group, but also to separate into smaller groups. It turns out to be an ideal way to set up a family trip here.
Even on a relatively small ship, there's always something to do. After breakfast, you can relax in the comfort of your cabin and watch the scenery go by, see what's on telly, power walk the deck and get your morning exercise, sunbathe, enjoy the scenery, chat with fellow passengers, or enjoy a sauna or a swim. For more information, visit our website on topoftheworld.net.